on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk, presented by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Sooner Sports Talk is also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Riverwind Casino, always a good time. This is Sooner Sports Talk. Now, here's Chris Plank and Teddy Lehman.
Welcome in. It's Sooner Sports Talk. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. What's up, baby? He's got timing, doesn't he?
What's up, Coach? See you, brother.
Brent Venables. How are you, Coach?
All right. Hey, how are you?
Great. How's practice?
It was great. Had a good warm Monday night.
Yeah.
Right on time.
A little buggy out there tonight,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, great practice.
Well, let me go ahead and introduce everyone. That's Teddy Lehman. You guys know Teddy, the Butkus and Bednarik Award winner. And, of course, he needs no introduction. Brent Venables, the head coach of the Sooners, coming off a big win in the opener over Illinois State. I've been kicking myself. I asked you after the game, I'm like, who are some guys that really stood out? And it's a tough question to ask because you haven't got to look at tape yet. But immediately he said, well, I think John Mateer played pretty well. Pretty good debut for him, wasn't it?
No doubt. And he'll be, again, the first to tell you can't play quarterback alone. So offensive line did a good job protecting them. Receivers did a great job within, their route details and recognizing coverages and things of that nature to find ways to get open, and made some good competitive plays. But I love the command that he had. I thought he saw the field incredibly well. He's doing a lot of things. They huddled a lot. So from a communication standpoint, getting everybody on the same page, he stayed at a really consistent level when it comes to the emotion and the poise and of the day. Regardless of the opponent or situations, I thought he really did all the things you would want him to do at a really high level, throughout the night. And I don't think you just don't luck up and break a record that Baker Mayfield held.
No doubt. There's been some decent quarterbacks roll through here.
Hey, you're doing a lot, really, really good to do that, and so is a lot of other people too.
I think one of my favorite thing, the first time I saw him in the spring, was how decisive he is getting the football out. Yeah. He gets it out quick, it's on time, and it's on target. And if you're a receiver, you better be ready because it's going to be in the spot it needs to be at.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. He sees things so well. He does a great job from a preparation standpoint. So he plays with a high level of anticipation, like the really good ones do. So he throws it before they're open, if you will, throws them open, and I think a lot of his preparation he makes it game day look a little easier, than a lot of guys would.
Well, I want to shift to the defensive side here too, because you're back calling plays. Was there any rust? Do you need anything to? Was it like riding a bike?
I've been a play or two. It was just no. It was good. We got a great staff. We spend a ton of time. I mean, yesterday we got up here. I don't know, 9, 8, actually it was 8:30. And we were here till 10:30 last night, and you're conversating virtually the entire time. I mean, we broke and had dinner brought up to us and things like that. Sunday, Monday are the two busiest days of the week, but we spend a ton of time. My point is, in all the situationals, we try to play the game, anticipate the game, and we talk through all of just how we want it to flow and how we think people are going to attack us and what our answers are going to be and what we feel like we go in where we can hang our hat on with our schemes and our movements up front and our coverages and, backed up, red zone, third down, fourth down. And so really you could take me out of it and those guys would do equally well.
I thought, defensively, one of the real bright spots, and I think it has been a bright spot since kind of this spring and maybe gotten better and better, corner. Seeing Guillory out there and Gentry Williams, they like to compete.
Yeah, both of them. They as I said, they had a great camp, and you were really kind of keeping your fingers crossed that everybody would come out healthy and they would continue to make the incremental improvement that we need to, and we'll continue to need to throughout the season. But both of them play very sure of themselves, confident Cortland is, as you saw, he's very confident. And the confidence comes from he is a tireless, relentless worker off the field and on the field. He's very prepared. So, he also has played the game already. And so he anticipates. He's very long. He's extremely physical. And then he has great poise, under pressure. Gentry made some plays early as well, and some of the run game, and that was great to see in his confidence. He had a great summer, and so his confidence is at an all-time high. Here they throw it out in the flat, and we got a nice little vice tackle working, and you saw they dropped back, a lot of three-step. They weren't going to expose themselves a lot. Gentry makes a good play there on three-step. They try a little screen, and it's well diagnosed by the guys out on the perimeter here. They really do a nice job complementing each other. Gentry's the cover guy. Boganowski, they're trying to block him for the screen, and Gentry crack replaces, something like a veteran. They made it look very elementary there, but that's a veteran player making a play right there. And
you see the experience of our Mason Thomas, too, that he can ID those things. I thought he did a great job getting out there.
Yeah, 100%. Instead of, they quick flash and then they climb out there to go, and they're hoping you just keep running up the field. And we tell our guys, look, know yourself. The beginning of all wisdom is knowing yourself and how the opponent looks at you. So, hey, they're going to tee off on us. Well, we're going to see a lot of screens, a lot of misdirection. Maybe double moves, things like that, where, if you're going to be in an aggressive defense, then these are the things that you need to guard against and protect against, anticipate. And we got a bunch of guys that are playing at a really high level that way.
I think I was kind of blown away whenever I saw that they only had 46 plays. You held them to 151 yards, 34 passing yards, which was the least amount of yards that Oklahoma had given up in over a decade, passing-wise. Just it really seemed like it was a defense that was dialed in.
Yeah, I think once we banged up their quarterback or hit him a couple of times and he was limping around, if I'm them, I'm going to play even more conservative. I'm not apologizing or making excuses. We did something good, There's a reason that doesn't happen in over a decade. We've played teams just like Illinois State before and haven't had the same success. So our guys are doing a lot of stuff, really playing good team defense. And then again, I thought that maybe at some point in time they decided, hey man, let's not get any of our other good players hurt. We got a great season in front of us. This is again a top 10 FCS team that expects to have a great year. They had 6 preseason FCS All-Americans on their team, and a lot of experience particularly on offense at the skill position at running back. He's a big old load. I didn't love how sometimes we missed a tackle there and missed a couple of fits, and they hit it downhill pretty quick. But overall, again, I think they were 1 of 11 on third down. They didn't attempt a fourth down. I think they averaged 3 yards a play, maybe 3.2 or something. And again, that's not easy to do, so it's a good quote-unquote scrimmage kind of work. Played a ton of guys. Guys gained confidence and trust along the way, and he gets credit. Sammy got credit for a sack. That was his first career sack. But Reggie, I love Reggie Powers, man. I love him and Boganowski's, and them dudes. They love to play, and they are runners and hitters. Taylor Wine does a great job getting a sack, his first career sack as well. I think I'm mentioning some of those guys there, and David Stone or Taylor and several other players. We got a bunch of young guys too. There's a few older vets, but man, we're still a bunch of babies. But these guys can play. And my favorite part of this year's football team is they love to work, they love to be pushed, they love to be challenged. They have a competitive maturity about them. So they know immediately, when they did something wrong or they need to do it better. And so, you can really progress, and, you see eye to eye when it comes to standards and things of that nature. Like everybody in college football is having a Monday practice, but it's not, they're doing weight room, they're doing recovery, they're doing film study, they're doing walkthroughs, they're doing indie, they're doing team scouts. But it's not that whether or not you're doing it, is what standard you're doing it at. And, my feeling is this is a team that desires to do it at a really, really high level. They have the humility and the respect for what it takes on both sides of the ball. And so that's made, this group of players over the last several months be a lot of fun to coach. And that's not always the norm. It might be this position group, it might be one side of the ball, but very rarely do you have this amazing collection of players that share that mindset.
And we got reinforcements potentially on the way too, like Eli Bowen, Kendall Dolby. I don't think we saw Jacoby Johnson on Saturday night. You played a lot of guys, but Coach, there's still a lot of guys that are, I'm sure, chomping at the bit to get out there.
Yeah, some guys that were a little bit banged up, and we didn't feel like we needed to play them or put them in harm's way, and hopefully we'll get some back here over the next, week or a couple of weeks.
Hey, real quick before we grab our break, you mentioned Sammy O. He's one of those guys that you can tell when he's made a mistake because he might hit himself on the helmet or he'll do something, but what a great kid.
Yeah, no, he's a lot of fun. Got a great spirit to him.
8 tackles and a sack.
Yeah, he does. He had a good night. I told him, I need you to run through their soul. Run through their soul. He's there, but his next step is running through the soul. And but it's a lot of fun. He's one of the best teammates. Like right there, man. I don't know.
I can sense it.
He's done great. And but he is one of the best teammates we got on the whole team, and he loves his teammates. They love him. He does life with his teammates. He stays here all the time. He's from Dallas, and he lost his mom his freshman year tragically. She passed away in May of his senior year on his way to school or just before he left the house. And it's a sad, sad thing. But man, he has been nothing but a champion. Since the moment he showed up, and he's really, and I told him in front of the team today, man, you are starting to become a complete player. I think he played 19 special teams plays and was very productive in the special teams, and then he's got this role that he's created that he's taken starter reps with a small group of linebackers, and man, they've got a great cohesion and chemistry about him, and he's really stepping into the leadership role and becoming a stud linebacker.
I got it for Toby already. Sammy O takes their soul. So whenever he makes a play, right. There you go. I'll trademark that. Our opening segment, as always, is presented by Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law. Noble McIntyre and McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorneys. Let's talk a little bit about Michigan, but more on Saturday night next on Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables. Live from Rudy.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Riverwind Casino, it's always a good time. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. Fan-fueled, athlete-focused.
Man in motion left to right is Lord. Back to pass Pellant. Throws it out to the right. Watch out. Bam. Winkers right. Got the winkers knocked out of him. He hung on to the football somehow, but no gain. Reggie Powers like a stick of dynamite. Bam.
I think I've watched that play like 50 times.
He's so angry.
Yeah, he is.
Why is he so angry?
But have you been telling him to run through guys' souls too?
You don't have to tell him.
Tell him not to. Come on, this is practice.
Yeah.
Stay up.
Oh, man, it's Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables live from Rudy's. This segment is brought to you by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. I mean, he'd been a guy, Coach, that in your press availabilities and the times we had to talk to you, Reggie Powers was a name that got brought up quite a bit, and boy, he made an impact on Saturday night.
He did. And again, he's flying around every opportunity he gets. He's prepared. He's ready. He plays really fast. He's got a really good natural instincts. What you see him doing right now is exactly what it looked like off his high school tape. And really, he's got an interesting story. It just shows you he was a guy that we didn't get on until his senior year. And he was committed. He's from the state of Ohio, and there was a coaching change, I believe, at Cincinnati, and we were able to swoop in there and get involved with him. But his tape is exactly like what you're seeing now, and he's a really dedicated guy. He's best friends with Mike Boganowski, another aggressive, violent safety who got his first start. I think we had 8 Sooners with their first start on Saturday night, 4 on defense and 4 on offense. And so that was really cool, too, to watch them have their first experience in the Palace. And the crowd, game day was awesome.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Man, it was so good.
It was awesome.
The Walk of Champions, that was easily the best. It was the most well-attended. Tons of juice and energy. We came out of the stadium to kick off as well. Just the fans were ready. They really were wonderful. And the team and the players, they feel that from the onset. When they get off the bus and they see, all of the support, it goes a long ways to get everybody amped up. And just another layer of support. It takes all of us.
Yeah, you give guys a hand for that one. You guys are awesome. That was awesome.
Well, offensively, we kind of skipped around on defense, hit a bunch of guys, but there was a lot of good on offense as well. How about the wide receivers showing out? That was really cool.
Yeah, fantastic. 9 different guys touched the ball. Certainly Deion Burks and Keontez Lewis, Isaiah Satenya, and amongst others. Those guys really showed out. The tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I know we didn't have any tight ends coming into the
catch the
season,
ball?
but
Yep.
we moved a linebacker over there, and he found a few holes. But
You look pretty good.
yeah, no, he did well. I think Will Huggins caught one, and Carson Kent caught one in the flat, and Huggins hit one in the seam there. But John did a great job spreading it around. The receivers were really good. Burks makes the really competitive play over the shoulder that really got the scoring drive started. And Keontez was lights out, all night.
Satanya's going to be something in that punt return game.
Yeah, he can get vertical. His mom ran in the Olympics. His dad is the head track coach at Texas A&M. He's got athleticism deep in his genes.
DNA runs deep.
But I said this, in the spring, he was our most consistent receiver. Showed up, made plays every single day, was great on special teams. He's got great poise. If we don't clip him right there, we did a really, not that play, but I think we had 3 returns that averaged over 10 yards, just over 10 yards a carry, and this one would have, nope, that's not it either,
Next
Teddy.
I know the one you're talking about. I saw the entire coaching staff waiting to get their teeth into Okoye.
Yeah, and we tell them, you'll be in the top 15 in the country if you can get 1 first down after you catch it. Get 1 first down, you'll be in the top 15, and at the end of the year, man, next thing you know, that's 1 less first down. That's 10 yards closer, to scoring, and that's how you win the field position in a 1-possession league. It's going to really matter, and he can't do that alone. He's got a natural feel for it, how to get vertical, how to catch it, how to position his body. But we've got a bunch of guys that have a bad case of the wants that are showing up too and holding their guy up and creating running seams for him and allow him to get north and south, which is the key to a really good punt return unit.
Go ahead, Teddy. I'm sorry. Did I trample? It was your turn, and I just jumped right in. I was
going to say, I don't think he got it wasn't his first start, but it was his first action. Freshman Torrey Blaylock, he's got some juice to him.
He does. And we've been talking about him for a while, if you remember. Mm-hmm. So I know coaches are just always talking players up all the time and don't know. That's just how it is. But he's been special since he got here. Ted, you were out there several times in the spring. He led the offense in explosive plays in the spring. And he put in a lot of work since January all the way through the summer, added, close to 15, 18 pounds, gained in every category in the weight room. And his speed, he's got elite speed and great power. You see him knock the DB back right there. He knows how to get vertical quickly. He's got great instincts, both behind the ball and in the box, and then out on the perimeter as well. He's a real weapon catching the ball. But he runs through trash. He plays with his pads forward all the time. You see him every single one of those. He's falling forward, and that's what the good backs can do. He almost keeps his feet right there, but he's got a great future in front of him. His dad played for the Chiefs. He played maybe close to a decade in the NFL, and he's got a younger brother recruiting too.
Nice.
Yeah, Trent. He's longer, he's taller, and he plays corner. He can play anywhere, but he plays corner, and so we like them Blaylocks.
We saw them all. We saw all the running backs. We saw
Yeah.
Javante Barnes. We saw, obviously, in what Blaylock did. Xavier Robinson. And late, we saw Jay Nott a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a chance.
He's just missed a lot of practice. You know, he's missed a lot of practice. So, but you're going to see a lot more of him.
And the reason I ask is that depth in that room. That's pretty solid depth at that running back
it's
position
solid,
right now.
and it's definitely solid. And it's a group we like the group, and they all have different skill sets. And you know, it's going to be an important part for us to be the kind of team, kind of offense, the kind of success that we envision us having. Man, that group has got to we've got to really play at a high level, you know, all year long.
You're down a couple of guys on the offensive line, and you got to see a couple of different combinations, moved some guys around. How'd you think they played?
Yeah, it was a mixed bag, but overall, I think we gave up 1 sack. We got to move people better. This is, again, a game of inertia. We got to move people better. That was the strength of Illinois State's, you know, defense. We're going to see guys that can give us even more resistance, and so we got to continue to improve. And but you know, they provided a good firm pocket. Didn't have a lot of leakage that way. I think we gave up 1 sack and maybe 3 or 4 tackles for loss. So for a group of guys that, for several of them, they hadn't really spent very much time together. I thought it was, you know, pretty good. There was more good than there was bad. But we definitely got to continue to make improvement. I believe we will, and we got some guys that'll be coming back here, you know, as well.
The segment's been brought to you by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. More with Coach Venables next. It's Sooner Sports Talk live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality.
Mateer gonna pass. Looks across the middle, slings it. Deion's got it to the 10. He's into the end zone. Deion Burks, Peter. Touchdown, Sooners.
All right, you're watching Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables. We're live from Rudy's. It's a raucous crowd. It was a raucous crowd Saturday night. We'll need one this coming Saturday. More on that in just a bit, as this segment's brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. A couple more questions looking back on Saturday. Just wanted your overall evaluation on Ben Arbuckle's first game as your OC. How'd you feel?
I think it's pretty dang good. No, he's fantastic, and again, he'd be the first one to tell you it's all of them together, but it doesn't happen if it doesn't start with him. So his leadership, his passion and energy, obviously there's a football piece to it, play design, play sequencing, helping the guys, you know, with adjustments and things of that nature. He's great. He and John Kuzieski and certainly John Mateer, the three of them have really done a great job of creating culture and offensively putting in a great system, putting our guys in position to be successful. And obviously it's just one game. It's a small sample of you know, what's to come, what's in front of us. But he's ultra competitive. Again, high energy, and the players, they feed off of that.
I was laughing after the game. I heard him talking about the crowd. That's the most people I've ever seen at a football game in my whole life. That was crazy. And I was thinking, wait till next week. It's like a totally different animal.
Yeah, no, they were all. We recognized them after the game, just you know, getting their first win and things of that nature. So it was pretty cool. But they were all in all, from the Walk of Champions to coming to the stadium. You know how the stadium looks before everybody gets there. It's absolutely immaculate. Yep. And you see a lot of pride in the stadium when you walk in there, from our field crews, what they do, the painting, and just all the pageantry that goes along with it. Pretty special, and they recognize it. And of course, Coach Dreiling and Coach Goodwin, you know, both of them, they were same thing. They asked me, said, hey, you mind if we stay with the team? You know, so we do a little walkthrough at the hotel before we come over, ride the bus, do the Walk of Champions and all that. Like, you know, all the other coaches are back recruiting. I said, why don't you guys stay with me? You know, they were really fired up about that, and so they could, you know, have their families experience that as well.
And then one guy who was familiar with it but is back. And even with knee replacement surgery, Kevin Wilson on the sidelines the whole game. How about that?
Yeah, pretty cool. It's great to have him and his leadership and his perspective and lens. Teddy will be first one to tell you he's probably got some good Wilson stories, and but he's great to have him back.
You mentioned it earlier. Just want to ask you again. How cool was it to see? And I know it's not the first time you through practice and everything. Canic's been amazing, the work he's put in. It's not easy just to switch positions, and there's a lot of big asks from tight ends, blocking wise, and what they do. But how cool was it to see him get out there and make some catches and be a big part of what was going on?
And you know, you've watched him. Like, a guy can play linebacker, did a good job at linebacker, and this is very natural for him. But he made it look a lot easier than it actually has been. And but he has been just tireless at putting himself in position to make it look easy and easier, if you will. But really proud of him. All the hard work that's taken place. You know, when the stands are empty and nobody's around. You know, both the film room and certainly, you know, on the field as well. It developed a great chemistry with the quarterbacks and certainly John. And so that was, pretty remarkable to be honest with you.
Well, we know what's ahead on Saturday night. It's time to look ahead, courtesy of One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused. It's Michigan coming to town. They started their season with a 34-17 win over New Mexico. Just as you've started to dive into the prep, what have you seen from the Wolverines?
Yeah, I mean, it's a championship roster, just 2 years removed from winning the national championship. They finished as hot of a football team as anybody in the country. They beat Ohio State to end the regular season at Ohio State. So they've been a really good road team. Then they got after Alabama in the bowl game as well, but a physical football team. Just every level of their roster, you know, they did a great job at recruiting at the receiver position. They've got great backs. They got the guy, one of the guys from Alabama as well.
Justice Haynes. Right?
Yeah, Justice Haynes from Atlanta, and then they've got as good a tight ends as we'll see all year. They've got as good an offensive line as we'll see all year. And they had the number one player on the planet coming out of high school in Bryce Underwood. He's a big dude. He's very decisive. He showed great poise in a game against New Mexico last Saturday night. He's very, very talented, huge arm, great instincts for the game. And then on defense, they're like us. You know, they're really good up front. They got really excellent disruptive linebackers. Very disruptive. I think I've heard them several times talk about being 10 deep with their defensive line, and then they got a secondary that very multiple, and they got a lot of bodies that have length, and they're physical and aggressive, and they got a coordinator and an NFL guy that has been around football a long time. He's forgotten more football than most people know. So excellent in the kicking game as well, and then. Sharon Moore, former Oklahoma player, is here, you know, a part of a couple of championship teams in the mid-2000s, and he's done a wonderful job as well. And then Chip Lindsey, coordinator, he brought in the offseason, kind of combined with who they are at Michigan, and Chip's had, you know, elite-level success everywhere he's been.
That's kind of exactly what I was going to ask you. You know, stylistically, you can see what Michigan has been over the last couple of years, but the quarterback, the freshman, gives him a little bit different dynamic. Yeah. How do you expect that to – where will they be the same and where maybe will they be different?
Well, they're going to be physical and they're going to run downhill, but they also have the ability to, you know, be a +1 run team. They're going to move the pocket, which is something they've done, you know, run the quarterback, move the pocket, change his launch point, you know. if they're going to be good at running the ball, then they need to be effective, keeping people off balance with play action and taking shots. And they got tight ends to attack you down the middle of the field and on the perimeter as well. But they do a great job. They're good in space. They're an athletic group, up front too. And so they got a nice complement in their screen game and a vertical passing game, and then their run game. They can run outside with the stretch game. They can get outside with their down around game, and then they can go downhill. They're really good at attacking you, vertically in their run game and making your secondary tackle. That's what they're known for.
We got one more segment with Coach Venables. Our preview of Michigan is brought to you by One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. FanField, athlete focus. We'll come back. One final segment with Coach. We'll talk about the crowd, the environment, and Michigan a little bit more next. We're at Sooner Sports Talk inside Rudy's.
Thank you to our Cornerstone Television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. OU's 2025 football games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on these stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 30-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
Handoff Blaylock, runs right, cuts it back up the middle to the 2, to the 1. Parting of the sea into the end zone, touchdown. The kid, Torrey Blaylock. He wears number 6, and he gives them 6.
And what a debut for the freshman, Torrey Blaylock, at Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables live from Rudy's. This segment is brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. You've been a part of big-time games before. Mm-hmm. Is there anything – this is a terrible question, but I think if I precursor that, it's fine. Do anything differently? Do you have to insulate the guys more? Do you want them to embrace the hype? Game day here, biggest game in college football. Like anything you do differently?
Well, in case you didn't know, every game at Oklahoma is really big. All right.
He's right.
Go lose one and you'll find out quick. No, that's what you sign up for here at Oklahoma. And is there a lot that goes into this week's game? Is it on a different stage? Absolutely it is. And, I think one of the keys for us to stay, successful, to be successful rather, is to have poise through it all, embrace the chaos of game day. And a game like this, you have to, be as committed to, how you do what you do more than ever. It still takes the work. It still takes the details. It still takes, the 4th and 1 mindset. It still takes, unity and physicality and timing and, details, to win. This is a game of execution, not a game of external factors and game day and jerseys and, top 10, all that stuff. And is that part of it? Is that a byproduct of 2 really good programs playing each other? Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, let's not lose focus on what it takes to win. Winning never negotiates. You want to have a, kind of a kick-ass result. You have to have a kick-ass week of practice. That's what it takes to win a game like this, and take care of your body so you're fresh, so you can, succeed or have a chance to succeed in a 4-hour fist fight. That's part of what's getting ready to go down. And so the couple of days that you get in the weight room this week, man, it's as important as it's ever been, man, that you get in there and you strain. Remember what I talked about. It's everybody is going through a week of practice, and it's, what level that you're doing it at. What standard are you showing up with, and how you meet, how you lift weights, how you eat, how you sleep, how you practice, all of those things.
And talking about Michigan earlier, you pointed out physical group, downhill running game, perimeter running game. They got a bunch of ways they can attack you. How beneficial is it, the rotation you got at defensive tackle right now? You guys play 6 guys there, I think, on Saturday, and you don't have a whole lot of fall off whenever you rotate those guys through. That's got to be a big factor this week.
Yeah, no doubt. And they're all able to play at a really good winning level. That's a huge part to be good on defense, man. It starts up the middle. There at D tackle, middle linebacker, your safety play, and I think that those are areas we feel good about. Does that mean that we can't get better? No, I mean we need to get better. There's an expectation through a lot of hard work and a commitment that we're going to continue to improve. How good can we get? How much can we improve in 3 days? I mean, you can make some improvement, and a whole lot of littles adds up to a whole lot of lot. Mm-hmm. And so if everybody kind of does that together, every part of our football team, and that's the focus. It's a race against the clock every single week, But you talked about the physicality. They take pride as a football program. Their receivers are physical. Mm-hmm. How they block in the run game, man, they're physical. They're going to take you, 20 rows up into the stands, blocking you. It's a mindset, and I love that. I know I was bragging. Well, I say bragging. I was pointing out Coach Wilson had been at Ohio State, and I have faced Ohio State several times in the last, decade. And one of the things that I had the most respect for them in preparing for them is how hard their receivers played away from the football. And I love that, man. The strain to fight and to finish and to compete and help their offense be successful. And then the next thing you know, they'd be the first ones running down the field on the kickoff team. And for us to, I told the receivers today, for you to become a good receiver, not elite, not generational, to become a good receiver, man, you've got to be a dominant, blocker in the run game. That's what a really good receiver does. How well do you play away from the football? And so this will be an opportunity for us to kind of see where we match up.
All right, we got a couple more before I let you get out of here. We got our question from Trevor from Washington, our Rudy's question for Coach. Coach, take us through David Stone's progression and how he performed on Saturday night. Good question, Trevor.
Yeah, no, he's been on some kind of an incline since January. He's been a man on a mission. He's been a guy that has been very diligent and putting in a lot of work. Again, a great humility. It's not a bad thing when you have a whole bunch of guys that are humble, that have a great self-awareness and know that, man, they're not the answer to everything. They got a lot of hard work in front of them to improve, and he's done that in the film room and certainly on the field itself, in the weight room. He spends a ton of time with Coach Bates, just trying to get right. He's really hard on himself, holds him to a very, very high standard, and he was very disruptive in the game on Saturday night. He won our 12th man award, first guy off the bench. He really had an impact in the game, super disruptive, plays quick and fast, and he's becoming a great leader. He wasn't one of the captains, but he shows up every day with a leadership mentality, and that's cool to see.
Thanks, Trevor. Remember, for the best in real Texas barbecue, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. And Coach, final thought before I let you get out of here. We need that crowd to be loud on Saturday night, right?
No doubt. The crowd's going to have an opportunity to really affect the game and help the good guys on Saturday night, just making it, deafening for people to operate and to communicate. Communication, pre-snap, post-snap is everything. And so, man, bring your A game, and it takes all of us. And certainly, we got to give you an opportunity to be excited. But Sooner Nation, they'll show up. Trust me.
Hey, Ted, I think we've said it a lot. We went on the road everywhere in the SEC. Crowd in Norman was as loud as anywhere we'd been.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I fully expect that's going to be the case Saturday night. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be great. Thanks, Coach. We
appreciate
it,
you,
man.
How about that? Thanks, everybody.
Brent Venables, Sooner Sports Talk with Brent Venables. Teddy and I have one more segment. We'll come back and wrap it up live from Rudy's.
We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
John Mateer takes the football, fakes the handoff, straight drop, looking, slings it across the middle. That's caught. Lewis to the 5, steps out of a tackle, into the end zone, touchdown.
What a debut for Keontez Lewis as we welcome you back to Sooner Sports Talk. How about Brent Venables tonight? How great was that? This final segment is brought to you by your local Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic. You know, we were going down our list of things we wanted to talk about. I mean, there's obviously questions about injuries and when guys will be back. And, again, we'll see that in time. But, I mean, that seems like a pretty focused ball coach there getting ready for a big one coming up on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're going to get some more guys back on the offensive line. Hopefully we see Fasusi out there. Hopefully we see Simmons out there. Hopefully we see Sexton out there.
Yeah.
I think just personnel-wise, we have a chance to get better at that group. And, the more they play, and, the playbook was about this big in that game, and it's going to be way bigger against Michigan, and I think that has a chance to help you out as well.
Real quick, we got about a minute and a half left. Anything that really stood out in Michigan when you looked at him? Bryce Underwood's got some potential now.
He does, and like Coach said, he's a big, good-looking athlete. He gets the ball out quick. He's got some velocity behind it. It's going to be a different animal, though, against our defense. I really like where we sit right now. And, in a big game like this, with the true freshman coming in his first road start, going up against our defense with that crowd there, that's going to be a task. And if there's anyone that you'd trust to put a game plan together that can give a young quarterback a hard time, it'd be Coach Venables.
And I know everyone knows this. You don't need the reminder, but – rest the throat. Don't talk much this week. Be as loud as you can on Saturday night.
Actually, right now's the time to get some good practice in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wear that voice down, build it up stronger. Get some practice in.
You start early in the week.
That's right.
You wear it down, and then you build it up whenever you're ready to go. I like the way that you're thinking. But it should be fun, and I guess the bottom line more than anything else, these are the types of games. These are the types of matchups that make you just lose your mind in a good way. It's why you come to Oklahoma. It's why you go to Michigan.
No doubt.
It's going to be fun.
And there's going to be a premium on smart, clean football. No mistakes, limit turnovers, limit bad penalties.
See you guys next week. Enjoy game day. And until next Monday, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue, and by Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.